because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was preparing him for something great. So let's see. In the same surah, Allah Azza wa spoke about the event of his birth. He was born at the very difficult time. What was the difficult time that Musa alayhi salam was born in? Do you guys remember? What was happening around that same time? What was the Pharaoh doing? Killing all the boys, Ben Israel. Why is that? Because he had a dream. In that dream, it was like a vision that the king of the Israeli, the slaves, at the time they were their slaves at the time, it will end his kingdom. So he freaked out. He wanted to kill all Bani Israel. But his ministers and his, he said, what are you talking about? If you remove all these people, all of a sudden, suddenly, the cheap labor on which the economy of Egypt is based is going to be destroyed. It will be gone. You need to be smart in how you handle that. So what do we do? He says, listen, it's enough based on your dream. It's enough because his dream said that that child was born that year. So it's enough for you to kill all the baby boys who were born from Bani Israel during that year. So they kept going after all the children, all the boys. Any boy that is born, they would capture them and just finish them, making sure that no child will actually be spared. Musa was one of those children. He was born in that year. His mother, when she found, of course, a baby boy, she was given a baby boy, usually it was a moment of joy for them. Now suddenly it's a moment of sorrow and grief. And now she's so terrified. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to her, Allah Azza wa Jal inspired to her, وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَىٰ أُمِّ مُوسَىٰ أَنْ أَرْضِعِيهِ. And we inspired in a subtle way to the mother of Musa, and nurse your child. Hold him, hug him, and nurse him. Give him milk. And look at the amazing ayah now. فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلَيْهِ فَأَلْقِيهِ فِي الْيَمِّ وَلَا تَخَافِي وَلَا تَحْزَنِي إِنَّا رَادُّهُ إِلَيْكِ وَجَعَلُوهُ مِنَ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. Allah tells her subhanahu wa ta'ala, keep holding your baby, take care of him, until you become so afraid for him. When your level of fear becomes so much so that you are unable to sustain that easily, then drop him in the water. Now look at the command. I mean, usually when you tell a mother, if you're afraid for your child, what do you tell her to do? Hide him, run away, go somewhere, whatever that you tell, just keep your baby with you, tuck him in and just run away and hide. That's what you tell a mother. But here Allah telling her, just take care of your child. When you become so afraid, put him on the water. Why is that? He's telling her, I'll take care of it from there. You just put him on the water. I'll take care of it from there. And subhanAllah, the mother of Musa, at some point when she got to that level of fear, she couldn't handle it. So she had to do it. And she puts her baby in that crib and she put on the surface of the water and she released him to go and run on the flow of the water. Where is he going to be going anyway? I mean, they were supposed to release him to run away from whom? From the Fir'aun. But even though the mother of Musa, she knew that this was coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the motherly instinct kicked in. She couldn't let go of him easily. So she told his sister, her daughter, Qussi, go after him. Keep walking by the shore or the bank of the river to see where is he going to end. How is he going to end it? His situation, what's going to happen to him? So his sister kept going after him until she found out that Musa, the baby, ends up in the house of who? The Fir'aun himself. Like, wow. Now that is a moment of strong iman and belief. Some people, they might stop at this moment, they say, really? Like, seriously? I put all my trust in you. That's where my baby would go? Because she was expecting what happens to her baby at this moment. He'll be finished. Like, I trusted you and I put my baby in the water for this, and he ends up in the house of the same person we're running away from. But Allah had another plan for her. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about Musa alayhi salam in other ayat, وَأَلْقَيْتُ عَلَيْكَ مَحَبَّةً مِّنِّي. And I put love for you in the hearts of people. So anyone who sees Musa alayhi salam would fall in love with him. As a child, as a baby, you all know that. There are some babies so adorable, mashallah. You see them, you don't even know who they are. You just fall in love with these babies. Why? Because they're adorable. You don't know why. It's just so adorable, subhanallah. Other children are a little bit different. Now, Musa alayhi salam was one of those adorable kids. She saw him, she goes, that's mine. Part of the design, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made this woman, the wife of the Fir'aun, having no children, unable to conceive. She said, that's my baby, I'll keep him. Now obviously they knew that this child must be from whom? Bani Israel. Why is that? Because the Egyptians won't throw their kids in the water. The only people who could do that, the Israelis. So he must be from those slaves. But what is the chance that this child might be the one that was, that came in the vision of this Fir'aun? Very slim chance for them, of course. But Allah has a different plan. So now Musa is being taken by that family. Okay, how is he going to survive? What's happening? The mother of Musa now, she's so terrified. She's afraid. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِن كَارَتْ لَتُبْدِي بِهِ لَوْلَا أَن رَبَطْنَا عَلَىٰ قَلْبِهَا. She almost disclosed that secret to go and claim that baby back. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tied with iman over her heart. So she remained a little bit patient. And then, what was the next plan? The next plan is that this baby is going to be stubborn for some time. What does it mean? He's not accepting any wet nurse. Not an easy child. So they brought him some milk, he rejected it. They brought him this wet nurse, he rejected her. And this one, he rejected her. And this one, he rejected her. He kept crying and he's now starving. And the mother, the wife of the Fir'aun, she's feeling sorry for that baby because now it's her child. Like she's adopted him. And they start calling for anyone who knows a wet nurse from everywhere. He's rejecting anyone that had been introduced to him, then made a public announcement. So when the public announcement came out, his sister went to them. She said, I know a household that can take care of it for you. I know a household. أهل بيت يكفلونه لكم, if you're interested. So they brought the mother of Musa. And subhanallah, Allah Azza subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قال فرددناك إلى أمك. Means he was returned back to his mother. كي تقر عينها ولا تحزن. So that her eye would become, kind of comfort of the eye. And she wouldn't be sad at that. SubhanAllah, now he's back in the arms of his own mother. Sponsored by whom, ya Jama'ah? The very same man that they wanted to run away from. The Fir'aun. What a divine plan, subhanAllah. And he was raised in the house of the Fir'aun, and usually when they are raised in the house of the king, they come out, of course, warriors and strong and well-built and intelligent and smart. Everything you can imagine. So he was like a royalty, basically. He was like a royalty. That's how he grew up. Until that day happened. When he went to the market and he saw two people fighting, one from his Shi'ati, one from Aduwi, one from the enemies, and one from his own people. So they kind of like fighting. Musa came to defend the man from his own kind. So he pushed the other guy. Just he pushed him. Musa was tough, was a strong man. He pushed the other guy, he finished him. The news spread that Musa killed one of the Egyptians. Slowly and gradually they came after Musa alayhi salam. Someone came to him, Ya Musa, inna al-malaya yatamuruna bik. The people are plotting against you, you better run away. So he just, whatever he could take with him, and he just ran away. He kept running and running and where? The Egyptian state at the time was the strongest. He kept running and running in the desert all the way until he arrived in some area far away in the desert. And that time, he didn't know if he passed the limits right now, or the boundaries of the Egyptian state. He didn't know if he was safe or not at that moment. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described afterwards, he rests under the shade of a tree. Then next to an oasis, over which there were a group of shepherds trying to force their animals to drink. Two young ladies standing on the side, their hand in their hands, their own goats and their own lambs, waiting for the men to finish, so they could go and take their animals to the water. Musa alayhi salam, the chivalry kicked in. A gentleman seeing these two ladies on that side, what's going on? So he got up and he go to these ladies, he goes, Ma khatbukuma? What's going on here? قالتا لا نسقي حتى يصدر الرعاء. We cannot go and take our animals there until these shepherds are gone. وأبونا شيخ كبير. Our father is an old man. They were giving their excuse why they're out anyway, because if a father was able to do it, he would come. But he's an old man, he's unable to do it. Now it's our turn. We're going to have to help our dad. فسقى لهما. Musa, again a tough man, he took these animals, he went through, easily pushed these guys, took them into the water, it's done, went back again to the girls, here you go, and they went home. So they went home. Obviously they went earlier than usual. And Musa alayhi salam went to the shade of that same tree again. He sat down there. Look at his condition. He's a stranger in that land. He's alone and lonely, has no provision, so scared, doesn't know what's going on, no family, nobody, completely. He made simple dua. قال ربي إني لما أنزلت إلي من خير فقير. Ya Allah, I am in whatever khair that you can provide for me, I'm in need of it. Whatever that you believe, what that you see, Ya Allah, that I need, give it to me. SubhanAllah, some people, they come to me sometimes, ask me, Shaykh, what dua can I make for this? What dua can I make for that? What is the best dua for this? I said, listen, the best dua is the one that comes out from the heart. That's it. Doesn't have to be long or short. Even they say one time there's an Egyptian guy in the Hajj was making dua. Very simple dua, but wallahi very powerful. He's a very simple guy coming from the village. Probably didn't even know how to read and write. His dua around the Kaaba was just simple as this. He goes, Ya Rab, Inta arif wa ana arif. Ukutru kalam malush lazma. Which means, my Lord, you know and I know. So I don't have to blabber anymore. What does that exactly mean? From his heart, he's saying, you know my need. And I know that you can do it. And I don't have to say anything else. Wallahi, if this comes from the heart, I'm telling you, it's the most powerful dua. Musa did that dua. Instantaneously, before probably even he finished, that young lady comes to him, ala istihya, she's so shy. She goes, Ya Musa, she doesn't even know his name, because Inna abi yad'uka liyajziyaka ajra ma saqayta lana. My dad is calling you, he wants to reward you for your help. And Musa, subhanallah, suddenly, oh wow, what happened? He goes to the man, فَلَمَّا قَصَّ عَلَيْهِ الْقَصَص. When he told him his story, he said, Najawt. Don't worry, you're safe. Khalas. You're far away from them. SubhanAllah, suddenly he got safety. He was so scared just earlier. Now suddenly he's safety. Then the man told him, he says, the daughter told her father, said, that why don't you hire him? Because if you do so, he's trustworthy and he's a tough man. He's a strong man. He can handle the job. So the father says, why don't you work for me for 10 years? Or 8 years? Now what did he get, the Jama'ah? Job security. A contract for 8-10 years. Suddenly he has a job, he has money now, subhanallah. And guess what? He told him, in return, I'll give you one of my daughters as a wife. Suddenly he had family. He was alone and lonely. He was a stranger, poor and afraid. And a single dua that he made, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took all these worries away from him. Suddenly he had family, in a safe place, and with a job and security, subhanAllah, for 8 to 10 years, which he fulfilled. And then on his way back, he went back to Egypt after 10 years. He thought, you know what, that's it, we're done. Let me go back home. On his way back, he was lost in the desert. He sees some light. He goes, let me go and check over there. I might get you some fire to get some warmth, inshallah ta'ala. We'll take care of ourselves. He went there looking for guide on the road, of course, or guidance on the road. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala met him there and he gave him guidance to the world. And then Allah told him, listen, you've been designed for this day. And you are going to go to the Fir'aun. And you're going to meet with him. And your mission is to do so and so. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him a great mission. The story the moral of the story right now from Musa alayhi salam, for me and you, is to learn. Sometimes we might not understand why things happen to us. We can't really tell why these events happening to us. I might not know even why this happened here, why I lost my job, why this is that. I don't even know. Only Allah knows. Maybe there's a bigger plan for you. Why you're here in America in the first place, when you have cousins and others living all over the world, and everybody, they wish they are actually in your shoes over here, while you wish to be in their shoes. Right? For a reason. You're here for a reason. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about Musa, وَاصْطَنَعْتُكَ لِنَفْسِي, and I've designed you for a reason. I want you to look and try to understand the reason behind your presence in this area at this time in your life. In this time of this world, basically. What is it? Look for that. I'm sure there is something magnificent for you in this dunya and the akhirah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.